We all know the legend. The parties, the supermodels, the drugs, the yachts sinking in the Mediterranean. Hollywood turned Jordan Belfort into a rock star, painting him as a modern-day Robin Hood who stole from the rich to feed his crew. But movies are designed to entertain. Reality is designed to teach. The movie left out the hangover. The real story isn't about fun. It's about a man who stole over $200 million from working-class families. It is about a psychological addiction to more that turned a talented salesman into a predator. Today, we decode the true Wolf of Wall Street. We are going to look past the Ferrari and into the engine of his greed. We need to understand how a middle-class boy from Queens, armed with nothing but a telephone and a terrified fear of poverty, built an empire that seduced the world and then destroyed it. His story doesn't begin with millions. It begins with a deep, gnawing hunger. Jordan was born in Queens to a middle-class Jewish family. His parents were accountants, disciplined and frugal, but Jordan was born with a hole in his soul that could only be filled with status. At 16, while other kids were playing, he was selling ice cream on the beaches of Bayside, making thousands of dollars in a single summer. He didn't want happiness, he wanted to win. He enrolled in dental school for one reason: money. But on the very first day, the dean told the incoming class, "The golden age of dentistry is over. If you're here to get rich, you're in the wrong place." Jordan didn't even finish the lecture. He stood up, walked out, and never returned. If it wasn't going to make him a millionaire, it was useless to him. By 22, he tried to build a legitimate business, selling meat and seafood door to door, and he was good at it. He worked hard. He scaled it. He had a fleet of trucks and employees. But his impatience was his poison. He expanded too fast on borrowed money, chasing the dream without the foundation. The business collapsed. At 25, he wasn't a millionaire. He was bankrupt. This failure broke something in him. He looked at his life, terrified of being average, and swore he would never be poor again. In 1987, he clawed his way into a prestigious firm, L.F. Rothschild. This was the big leagues. Here, surrounded by men in expensive suits screaming into telephones, he learned the dark art of the broker. The veterans taught him a simple rule: move the money from the client's pocket into your pocket. He was learning to be a shark. But the universe has a dark sense of humor. On October 19, 1987, the very day Jordan started his first day as a licensed broker, the market committed suicide. Black Monday. The Dow Jones dropped 22% in hours. The firm closed its doors. Jordan was back on the street. Most men would have quit, but Jordan realized something that day. The system wasn't broken, it was just rigged. And if he wanted to survive, he couldn't just participate in the game, he had to rig it in his favor. Desperate and unemployed, he found himself in a boiler room in Long Island, a place where nobody wore suits and the coffee tasted like mud. But here, he discovered the loophole that would make him a king: penny stocks. These were shares of companies that didn't really exist. Two guys in a garage with an idea? That's a company. The stock cost 6 cents. Wall Street ignored them because the commission was garbage. But in this unregulated underworld, the commission wasn't 1% like at the big firms, it was 50%. This was the moment the monster was fed. Jordan realized that if he sold $10,000 of this trash to a blue-collar worker, he didn't make $100, he made $5,000. He picked up the phone, and this is where we must give the devil his due. Jordan Belfort was a genius. He developed the straight-line persuasion. He realized that sales is not about the product, it's about certainty. He could take a garbage stock and paint a picture of the American dream so vivid that the person on the other end would thank him for taking their life savings. He wasn't selling stocks, he was selling hope to people who were desperate for it, and he was charging a 50% tax on their dreams. Talent is useless without scale. Jordan knew he couldn't call the whole world by himself, he needed an army. In 1989, he founded Stratton Oakmont. He didn't hire Ivy League graduates. He hired lost souls, high school dropouts, bouncers, kids from the neighborhood who had nothing. Why? Because they were empty vessels. Jordan poured his ideology into them. He gave them a script, a perfect psychological roadmap to manipulate anyone, and taught them to sound like Wall Street tycoons. He created a cult. Stratton Oakmont wasn't a firm, it was a religion, where money was God and Jordan was the prophet. He motivated them with greed. He showed them the Ferrari, the watch, the power, and said, "This can be yours if you just don't take no as an answer." The scheme was simple: pump and dump. They would buy millions of shares of a worthless company at pennies. Then the army would call thousands of investors, hyping the stock, driving the price up artificially. That was the pump. Once the price was high, Jordan and his partners would sell their secret shares, making millions instantly. The price would then crash. The investors lost everything. But inside Stratton Oakmont, the champagne was popping. They weren't just making money, they were stealing it with a smile.
By the early 90s, Jordan wasn't just rich, he was liquid. He was making $49 million a year, and when you have access to infinite resources, your demons don't go away, they get bigger. The luxury became absurd. The 167-foot yacht, originally built for Coco Chanel, the helicopter, the jagged cliffs of excess. But beneath the gold plating, the foundation was rotting. Jordan wasn't enjoying the life, he was escaping it. Enter the Quaalude, the drug of choice for the man who wants to turn off his brain. Jordan was taking enough sedatives to kill a horse, mixed with mountains of cocaine, just to wake up, all to silence the voice in his head that knew the clock was ticking. He developed a god complex. He laundered money through Swiss banks using aunts and briefcases. He sank his own yacht in a storm because he refused to listen to the captain's warnings. Why? Because when you win every single day for a decade, you start to believe that the laws of physics don't apply to you. He thought he was buying freedom. In reality, he was building a golden cage. The paranoia set in. The friends became liabilities. The lifestyle wasn't a celebration anymore. It was a frantic attempt to outrun the consequences. Gravity always wins. The FBI, led by Agent Gregory Coleman, had been watching. And the thing about building an empire on loyalty bought with money is that when the money stops, the loyalty evaporates. To save himself from a 20-year sentence, the wolf did the unthinkable. He turned on the pack. He wore a wire. He betrayed his best friends. He handed over the keys to the kingdom he built. He was sentenced to 4 years and served 22 months. He lost the yacht. He lost the firm. He lost his family. So what is the lesson of the wolf? It's not that crime pays. It's that talent without character is a tragedy. Jordan Belfort possessed a world-class skill. He could persuade anyone to do anything. He could have built the next Apple, the next Tesla. He could have changed the world. Instead, he used his gift to feed an ego that could never be satisfied. Today, Jordan is back. He sells training, not stocks. But his story remains a warning to every ambitious man watching this. Master the art of the sale. Become dangerous. Build your empire. But remember, if you don't conquer the greed within you, eventually it will eat you alive.